SHmonsterarts and HIYA Toys are the two biggest names in the kaiju action figure world right now. But which one is better? Let's open up a couple figures and do some toy photography to find out.
Hey? Oh my god. So, SHmonsterarts versus HIYA Toys. Which do you like better? Well, they're definitely the two biggest brands right now in the Godzilla space, in the Godzilla collectible world. HIYA and SHmonsterarts. Which is better? SHmonsterarts and Bandai have been around for a very long time. And they make beautiful, tons of Toho stuff, a huge selection, great articulation, lots to love with SHmonsterarts. Plus, I'm a fan of Figuarts and all the other stuff that Tamashii Nations does. And then now, HIYA Toys has been coming in hot in the last few years with lots of stuff. A lot, mostly, of Monsterverse stuff, but there's some Toho stuff in there too. And the price point is just amazing. So it's kind of hard to pick which one do you like better. Competition like this is good for us, so who knows, maybe HIYA will learn from Monsterarts and vice versa. But with this video specifically, I've got two completely different figures here, and I thought we could battle them head to head. So what have we got? We've got Godzilla after he drinks a blue Gatorade feeling energized, and we've got old school derpy Godzilla. Which is better? No, but really, I thought it would be kind of fun to do like another Monsterarts versus HIYA video, but with two completely different figures. Not only are they different brands, but they're also different versions of the character. One's blue, one's not. You know, I just thought it'd be really fun. For the differences, the similarities, let's just love them both, really. And who knows, maybe we will get a winner in the end of the video. We'll see. If you do want to pick up either of these figures, or any other Godzilla-related stuff, head over to Calcus Toy. I've got them linked in the description of the video. Thank you, Calcus, for sending these two figures over to me, by the way. If you're ever looking for Godzilla stuff, Calcus is definitely a great place, specifically the HIYA Toys, and some Monsterarts too, obviously, but they've got a great selection, and a lot of other things too that they specialize in, like Transformers, and Joy Toy stuff, and a bunch of other random things here and there too. Calcus is a fantastic website. So make sure to head to the link in the description of the video, or I've got both of these guys linked, as well as Calcus and all the other good kaiju goodness that they've got on the website. So a little bit of a fan moment for me, and I don't mean to brag at all, but I did recently get a follow from the official HIYA Toys Instagram. Hey, it feels good being noticed. Thank you, HIYA. It's right after I posted this picture here of King Ghidorah that I did last week on this video. Thanks, HIYA, for noticing me. If you're watching, big fan of your work. It's always really great to kind of feel, you know, a little bit of recognition from the brands, you know? Okay, here are our two brothers. You know, they're brothers from some way or another, right? Yeah, they both look amazing. Let's just start with that. They both look fantastic. The SHmonsterarts of 1972, it's so cool seeing this figure. It's so incredibly spot on. So this figure, I think, is specifically for the 1972 movie versus Gigan, right? Godzilla versus Gigan, but I'm pretty sure it's the same pretty much design from a lot of other movies around that decade, like Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla and a bunch of the other ones that came out around that time period all kind of work with this guy. And that's pretty cool. It makes me think, like, I wonder if they just like actually took a real 3D scan of the suit the guy wore and then just made the figure out of that, sculpted it out of that. I don't know, it's kind of cool. HIYA Toys, energized guy over here. I was kind of hoping he would be a little bit translucent, but he's not. That's exactly what I was thinking with the burning one over there, but he's not, which is a little unfortunate. Let me know if I'm crazy right now. The texture of this Godzilla looks like a big piece of candy. You know when you open up a warhead and it's got that like white, not powdery outside, but almost like a filling around the outside or something? That's what it looks like with him. It looks like I could just put this guy in my mouth and suck on him and have a crazy sour trip. That makes any sense at all. That's what he looks like. He looks like a big freaking warhead. Let's start with this guy. I'm pretty sure, somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, this is really the same exact figure as this guy right here and this guy right here. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's pretty much the same. You know what, I guess that's not a terrible thing. I don't know why there would be a different sculpt. Like, these are pretty much the same exact guy, just powered up differently, right? It's the same figure, and that's okay. It's just the way it is. The paint job on this guy, however, is really stinking cool. Like, it's obviously, just look at it. The blues and the blacks and the whites look really awesome, but it's just incredibly well done. The dusting. Dusting. That was the word I was looking for with the warhead. The white dusting all over him looks great, and it really just makes all the details of the figure pop a lot. I would say even more than the burning Godzilla. It's a nice matte kind of feeling to it, as opposed to the burning one is not. It's more of a glossy-ish kind of feeling. One thing about this figure too that is really different that I was not expecting is he comes with hands. So this is the only HIYA figure that I've seen so far that comes with different hands, and he can hold stuff. I don't know what the heck he's gonna hold. Maybe that's to hold the blue Gatorade that he drank to turn blue. Hi, buddy. Yeah, he does come with different hands, so that's actually pretty sweet. As I have covered in other videos about this figure, but not the blue version, the sculpt on these things are incredible and so awesome, and they really do a great job. The detail on the face is crazy, and on the spikes and all of that is just awesome, and it's certainly up to the standards that HIYA have made for themselves. Absolutely so great. I'm not going to go into too much detail about everything just because I've done it already in other videos, so definitely check those out. But as far as the sculpt and everything goes, dang, he's just freaking awesome, man. He's just, look at him. He's awesome. So I have been told by some that this guy right here is like straight up the best SHmonsterarts figure that exists. I get it. I don't really have a whole lot of experience yet with the Monster Arts line, especially with Godzilla, but I see what people are saying. I see what they mean. This guy is great, especially if you love this version of him. As far as the older Toho Godzillas, I feel like this is the most iconic looking version of him. I absolutely love and adore how derpy he looks. He's like the closest thing to Barney that Godzilla can get, and I mean that in the best way possible. He looks just so lovable. And if you look right into his eyes, you can tell exactly what he's thinking. Just look right into his eyes. And articulation is definitely going to be the thing that really makes this guy stand apart from the other figure. He also comes with a second head, which is cool. It's a battle damaged face. And actually this one doesn't come with extra hands, which is weird. The HIYA one does. This one doesn't, which is so interesting. It's actually not what I was expecting. Sculpt and paint and everything is just beautiful and fantastic, and absolutely captures this version of Godzilla so perfectly. I love moving his mouth around. He's so easy to move around. So if we're gonna be talking about articulation here, let's go right into it. This guy you can move around a lot. His tail has a perfect U. You know, if he gets excited, he can wag his tail a little bit. If you can get Godzilla to do this, I think you're pretty much all set. You really can move him around quite a bit. Legs can go all the way up here. You can get him to do probably a freaking cannonball if you wanted him to. The things I always want to try and do with these Godzilla figures is get him in a pose where he's like yelling, facing forward, tail up in the air, and totally standing up. And I have not been able to achieve it with a HIYA Toys. There he goes. We got it. Nice. I wish I could get his head up a little bit more though. That's all right. Can we get him to balance on his tail like in the iconic drop kick scene? Can we do it? Oh man, I wonder if I actually can do that. I was not thinking I could, but we might actually be able to do this. Okay. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Nah, just kidding. I've got my hand on there. I actually was really thinking I could get it. I was getting pretty close, but nope.
Dang it.
Can do this with him, which is pretty cool, right? I mean, like, that's kind of awesome. Woo! Woo! As far as articulation goes, obviously a Monster Arts is gonna be the way to go. That's probably the biggest thing about why would I get a Monster Arts over a HIYA, in my opinion. Because with HIYA Toys, yeah, you can move and do stuff with them, but it's always gonna be basically just kind of like Godzilla standing there. Man, I saw this one picture of this guy who posed a Monster Arts laying down like he was like a cat. And I love that, and I want to do that and see if that's possible, because I really love that. If I'm gonna switch Godzilla's other hand in there. Jeez, this is actually harder than I thought. Okay, what the? I don't feel like heating anything up before anyone comments and tells me to heat it up. I don't feel like it. Ow. Oh. Ow, that hurt my other hand. Dang it. All right, fine. I'll heat it up. Okay, there we go. Nice and easy after being heated up in the microwave. But I see it's cool, but like, what am I gonna have him hold? Maybe this is like just more like a fist, but it really seems like a holdy hand. Like, what am I gonna have him hold? Whoa, Godzilla, dude, chill. You don't have to do anything crazy, man. I know you want to win this video, but you don't have to do anything crazy. Okay, I think we've de-escalated the situation.
Whoa, just take it easy, man.
Seriously though, what's the point of the holding hand? Is this, maybe it's just more of a fist. Well, that was easy. Well, these guys are just about the same height, I would say, right? Let's see here. Both around the 6-inch. The HIYA is a little taller than 6-inch, and MonsterArts is maybe a little shorter than 6-inch. So, as far as length goes, whoa. As far as length, would you knock it off, please? Thank you. As far as length goes and tail and stuff, I think it's gonna be probably around the same. So, as far as tail goes, HIYA is around 10 inches and MonsterArts is around maybe 9-ish or so. So they like, he's definitely chunkier. This guy, he's chunkier for sure, but as far as height and length, they're kind of the same. So for some other comparisons, here he is compared to another MonsterArts. They obviously scale up much better because they're both MonsterArts. And here he is also compared to the Super 7 Godzilla -1. Also a pretty different figure, but still something to compare them to. Boop, boop, boop. Well, which is better? Is the HIYA Toys or the MonsterArts better? Honestly, I really can't say which is better. They're so incredibly different in so many ways. And it's cool to compare and contrast to see the different things, but yeah, I can't say which is better. Which would I like to own more in this very moment? Probably this guy, just because I don't have a version of him already. I've got some other ones like him. I can't, if I wanted to have one definitive Godzilla figure, a blue one wouldn't really be that. So maybe that would be my choice, but that doesn't mean that he wins and he loses. You know, it's just, that's kind of what I'm just feeling right now. Man, it's cool. How far has Godzilla come in the last 70 years? A far way. Long way? Long time way. Far. Okay, well, W or L. What about that? Come on, they're obviously both W's. So he's like around 100. He's around 60. As far as price goes, he's a bigger W, obviously. In what world are these L's? Maybe because he's derivative and just kind of a blue version of another Godzilla? I get that. W or L, what do you think? Okay, well, it is a shooting and reviewing video, isn't it? Right? Is it, what am I? Let me start over here. It is a shooting... It is a shooting and reviewing video, right? So we need to take pictures of these guys. And I don't think I'll do a picture of them both together. I think I've got some separate ideas here. So let's get started with these shots. I think they're gonna be cool and funny and awesome all at the same time. So let's go. Okay, well, here we are. I've got kind of a silly little setup right now where Godzilla is chilling in the middle of town and he's just got his fill of energy from this blue Powerade. I know I've been saying Gatorade throughout the whole video, but I don't know, the Powerade bottle looked better. I don't know, I liked the label more. I don't know. Godzilla is having some Powerade and that's why he's blue. And it's kind of funny. And this is how we're looking in camera. So all of the stuff I'm using, these buildings, the lights, it's all linked in the description of the video. I also have a whole video about these buildings and where to get them, all that stuff. So if you want any of the stuff I'm using or curious, it's all linked in the description as always. It always is. So I've also got just some paper and some poster board stuff like that, just to make sure it looks kind of cohesive. It looks pretty silly right now, but hopefully in the actual photo, it'll look better once I edit it, stuff like that. And so I've kind of just got everything set up with some lighting to make it as cool looking as possible. I got lights underneath those buildings, and that's pretty much it. My shutter speed right now is at 800, which is pretty high. It doesn't need to be this high. It just works with the tone of the photo. So if I were to brighten it up, it would be too bright, and it just kind of works out that way. And so my f-stop's at 2.5. That's the lowest that this lens will go, and I like that. And my ISO is at 400, as it always is. I'm gonna spray a little bit of this atmosphere aerosol as well, just to get a little bit of atmosphere in there. That's linked in the description too, 15% off in there. And then use my remote to take the photo. This thing is dying, it's not really working anymore. I think I need to get a new one. Anyway, luckily it's easy and I can just do this if I really want to. But that's pretty much it, so let's go and take this shot. Okay, here we are. I'm all set up at the beautiful, beautiful Hudson River where Godzilla is emerging out of, well, let's just pretend it's the ocean, but Godzilla is emerging out of the ocean as he always does. He's got some trees near him because trees are on the beach, right? Who knows? But anyway, I've got my camera set up hopefully in the best possible way where I've got a great angle that's gonna make it really look like Godzilla is massive and he's really coming out of the ocean. That's the goal here. So I do have it set up where I have nothing really in the background. The background is just the water and a little bit of, I guess, whatever, mountain, pathetic upstate New York mountain over there. So Godzilla should still look really big because there's nothing gonna be taller than him in the background. Even with this crappy little river, it worked. And it's about noon right now, and it's actually much more sunny than I was expecting, and I'm quite happy about that. So I do have my light reflector, which is very helpful. As you can see, it's bouncing that light right onto Godzilla so we can see him much better. Very important. I use this in like every video. I'm sure you're sick of me talking about this thing. I brought a little cup with me so I can get a little bit of water, dump it over there, and hopefully get some splashes up and around his feet and his tail, just really make it look like he's emerging out of the ocean, you know, and hopefully that doesn't look too silly. I don't need anything crazy because Godzilla is still massive, you know. I don't want any crazy splashes bigger than him because that doesn't make a lot of sense, you know. Okay, here's how we're, hang on, there we go. Here's how we're looking in camera right now. I've got my shutter speed at 1250, which is pretty fast. It's very bright outside, but I also have my f-stop at 5.6, which is much bigger and higher than usual for me, but I want all of Godzilla in focus. I don't want it to be I don't want any crazy depth of field because Godzilla's huge. You know, you only get that crazy depth of field with small things, you know? So it works perfectly in this situation. Plus it balances out the crazy light I've got going on right now. And also my my ISO is at 320 still from last time and it's working out just fine. So I'm actually on my lunch break right now, so I don't have a whole lot of time, but everything's actually kind of working out nicely. So I'm gonna go take this shot, use my remote, hold my light reflector all at the same time, and dump some water and take the shot. Hopefully it comes out pretty cool. Let's go.
So luckily we live in a world where we don't have to choose between SHmonsterarts and HIYA Toys because they both exist, and that's pretty cool. But I guess our wallets will probably have to make that choice, so that's that's one difficult choice. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Got so much more Godzilla content coming in the future. And this photo, as always, will be posted up on Instagram and onto TikTok and Twitter. As always, if you want to follow me at any of those platforms, it's all linked in the description of the video. And of course, thank you so much for watching and getting this far into the video, and I'll see you in the next one.